Hi, my name is Clay from OpenC3, and in this video we'll get Cosmos up and running on a Linux Ubuntu machine. Let's get started. Cosmos is a containerized application, so we'll start off with downloading Docker Engine so that we can run Cosmos locally with Docker. Alright, so the first thing we'll get started with is going to be installing the Docker Engine for Ubuntu. So I'm going to open up the Docker docs. And for us, I'm not looking to get Docker Desktop today, so I'm going to be using the second option to set up and install Docker Engine from Docker's apt repository. The instructions for installing Docker Engine is listed on Docker docs, so definitely check that out if it's been updated since this video. And I'm going to go through and run through these commands. And then once you run through the Docker Engine documentation, I'm going to go ahead and install the latest Docker package. And then we can run a quick verification by running this sample Docker Hello World image. Looks like it's going to pull it, and then it's able to submit the hello message. So looks like everything is good with the installation. Again, all these installation instructions are going to be on the Docker documentation. The next step is going to be to clone our project. So our project is available at github.com/openc3/cosmos project. And from here, we can use the code option to find the cloning URL. We can navigate to our terminal here. I'm going to navigate to a directory of my choice and run git clone. And that will run the cloning process. So then now I have my entire Cosmos project available in my local directory. So from here I have all the different files that are copied over and maintained via Git. One thing you may have noticed is if I run docker ps, I'm going to run into a permissions issue, but if I run sudo docker ps, that will work. So by default on these Ubuntu distributions, Docker will require a lot of these root privileges to run. In your development environment, if you don't want to have to type in sudo every single time, if you don't want to have to run you don't have to have root privileges to run the OpenC3 scripts, you can modify that. So if you don't want to have to run sudo every time you run these Docker commands, I'm going to add the user to the Docker group here, and then I'm going to apply the new group. And at this point, I should be able to run docker ps, and that's going to let me run my Docker commands. So at this point, now I can run openc3.sh run. And it's going to start pulling all the Docker images that we have to run Cosmos. And then once they're all pulled, it's going to start those as containers. The first time you do this will be a little bit slower. It's going to be pulling in all those images. But the second and third time you run this, all those images are going to be cached in your device. So it's not going to take nearly as much time. If you did not do the sudo process to add Docker as a group, you will have to run sudo openc3.sh run, but we would recommend that you apply the user groups as necessary for your development environment so that you have the right permissions applied to your users. All right, looks like it's pulled in the project. So at this point, I can run docker ps, and I can take a look at all the different containers that are running in my environment. Looks like everything is up and running. It takes about 1 to 2 minutes for Cosmos to be fully ready after these containers are run. So in about 1 minute, we'll open up Cosmos on our browser. The first time you open up Cosmos, it'll prompt you to set a password. So I'm going to set a password here. All right, and now Cosmos is up and running on your local machine. So from here, I usually like to zoom out a little bit just to get a nice full picture of everything that Cosmos has to offer. And at this point, you can explore the demo plugin. The demo plugin has many telemetry points coming in. It's sending out commands. It has a bunch of limits coming in and out, just to show you all the different functionality of what Cosmos has to offer. It's intended to be a little bit noisy so that you can see all the different things that's happening in and out of Cosmos. And from here, you can explore all your favorite tools, including Command to Lem Server, Limits Monitor, Command Sender, and Script Runner, and so on and so forth. From the admin console, we can navigate to the Browse Plugins button, which will take us to the OpenC3 plugin store, where we can one-click install a variety of plugins. We're going to click Install on the fake stat. we'll receive the dialog on the fake site installation, and I will click install. And that'll begin the installation process. In about 15 seconds or so, this plugin will be ready to be used in our local Cosmos installation. If you want to take a look at all the other plugins that we have available, you can go to store.openc3.com to navigate to the OpenC3 App Store, where you can take a look at all the different Cosmos plugins that are available from this directory, including enterprise plugins that you can access if you have enterprise access. That concludes this Ubuntu Linux installation guide. If any further questions, please feel free to reach out to us on our GitHub issues. That'll be the fastest way to reach us. We're so excited to see and hear all that you will build with Cosmos, and we're looking forward to hearing what you will build. Until next time.